production. So my name is Dr. P.C. Patel, Professor, Parul University and Chief Soil Health Specialist, Shivam Agri Clinic and Laboratory, Bhavnagar, Gujarat. There is issue, I think.
Right, sir, what happened? Yes, slides are not moving.
Okay, now okay. Then super hybrid Napier. So you know that there are many hybrids of hybrid Napier. It is also known as elephant grass. So you know that from the Thailand, they have evolved the super hybrid Napier grass, and the yield is very high, about 120 ton per acre or 300 to 400 ton per hectare. You know that I have served in forage crops for 25 years, 1982 to 2006. So what is the specialty of the super hybrid Napier? So fast growth, high yield, base nutrition. It has the maximum 16 to 18% protein, whereas other hybrid Napier have lower protein, 10% or even 8 to 9%. So it contains maximum protein, and you know that protein is very important for the animal milk production. Then all weather friendly growth. It is drought resistant and can grow any kind of location irrespective of wet or dry season. Then easy storage. So in Thailand, it is known as King of Napier. So I have taken super Napiers, seen to be boost local dairy production. So in dairy production in Thailand, it has play a great role in a higher milk production. So I have taken this super hybrid Napier. It is also known as a Panchong variety. So you can see here the super hybrid Napier grass. So super hybrid Napier grass, that gentleman carry the super Napier grass. So in India, we know that limited land, 8.6 million hectare is available for fodder cultivation. And our country may face the shortage of both green as well as dry fodder by about 61.1% and 21.9% respectively. It is reported from IGFRI Jhansi. So hybrid Napier grass may be a boon for dairy industry on account of supply of adequate grain fodder of high nutritional value with round the year availability and minimum expense on repeated fodder cultivation. So you know that once you planted the hybrid Napier grass, then it remains for 3-4 years, and there is no need to planting again for the animals. So we can get the year-round green forage production. And you know that in milk production, 60 to 70% cost has been occur from the feed and fodder. So when we grow the perennial crops like hybrid Napier, then lucerne, then sorghum, then Rajka Bajri, then we are getting the higher profit. Napier grass is also called as elephant grass, I told, due to its tallness and vigorous vegetative growth. Green forage are rich and cheapest source of carbohydrate, protein, vitamin, minerals for dairy animals. The importance of forage is country is well recognized in feeding forage account for over 60% of the cost of milk production. So I told that 60% cost can be incurred from the feed and fodder. So if we supply the grain fodder to the animals, then there is a less requirement of the concentrate or feed, and we are getting the more profit from the dairy farming. So by providing sufficient quantities of fodder instead of costly concentrate and feed to the milk animal, the cost of milk production can be considerably reduced and dairy farming become more profitable. Then hybrid Napier grass. So it is a fast growing, and you know that the super hybrid Napier grass is grown for in India and in Thailand also for the forage production as well as biogas or CNG purpose. So it is known as dual purpose. It gives higher yield and most economically friendly. There are many hybrid Napier grass in India, but Bajra Napier hybrid super, then APBN1, then Coimbatore 3, then Coimbatore 5, both varieties are evolved from the Tamil Nadu Agricultural University. They are high yielding and recommended to plant with a spacing of 50 by 50 centimeter or 100 by 100 centimeter or 90 by 60 centimeter in fertile part of the land. So propagation by hybrid Napier by rooted slip or stem cutting. So you can here see the stem cutting, and you can also propagate it through the rooted slip of the hybrid Napier. So you can see here the figure, propagation by the rooted slip, whereas in propagation by the stem cutting. So in stem cutting, at least 2 nodes are required. 1 nodes we have to bury it in soil, and 1 node you have to keep outside this soil. And when you planting, then you make the 45-degree angles. So here you can see that you can planting 60 centimeter by 50 centimeter, or 90 centimeter by 60 centimeter also. So here you can see the super hybrid Napier. So I have taken this photo from the NDDB. You know that the National Dairy Development Board office is at Anand. So I am located at Anand. So at NDB, they have the farm Munjkuwa, and they brought the super hybrid Napier grass from Thailand, and they have multiplied the stem cutting and distributed to the farmers of the Anand, then Khera district, and throughout the Gujarat and India also. So you can see the growth of the super hybrid Napier grass. So it is a Coimbatore 3 hybrid Napier grass, CO5 evolved from Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, Coimbatore. So super Napier grass. So super Napier grass cultivation practices. So here it is very important because farmer have to grow. So super Napier grass grow best well in drained soil with a pH range 5.5 to 7. It prefers warm temperature but can tolerate. Land preparation, for that we have to 2 to 3 plowing and then followed by planking. It is a long duration crop, and periodically tillage activities like other crop are not possible after the crop occupy the field. So you know that when you grow the maize crop for fodder or sorghum or woad crop, then you have to time. But after it is a perennial crop, it remains for 3-4 years. So there is no time for the interculturing operation. So you have to prepare the land properly, 2 to 3 plowing, followed by planking. The planting can also be done on flat bed. The seed bed should be kept moist until germination occurs. Then growing from cutting. So I told that you have to keep the 45-degree temperature or degree when you planting this stem cutting in a soil. Then sowing method. So I told that it should be propagated through stem or root cutting, and the distance is 90 by 60, 50 by 50, or 100 by 50 centimeter. While planting, 2 nodes are buried in soil, the soil, and 1 node is exposed outside. So when there is 3 nodes, then you have to bury 2 nodes in the soil. But when you have 2, then 1 is buried in soil and 1 kept outside the soil. Super Napier grass cultivation practices, manure. You know that it is a exhaustive crop. It requires maximum nutrients. So when before preparation of the land, we have to add 25 to 40 ton per hectare of FIM. It will be applied at the time of the final land preparation, because it requires the maximum nutrient. Then crop requires 150 kg nitrogen, 50 kg phosphorus, and 50 kg potassium. So 50 kg nitrogen, 50 kg phosphorus, and 50 kg potassium per hectare should be applied at the time of planting. So phosphorus, you should have to apply a single superphosphate, 312 kg. Then 50 kg potassium applied through 83 kg muriate of potash. The rest of the 100 kg nitrogen apply as a crop dressing in 2 equal split. First during monsoon period, that is July, 109 kg urea per hectare, and another toward the end of the winter, February, 109 kg per hectare. After each cutting, we should have to apply 50 kg nitrogen, that is 110 kg urea per hectare should be applied. Then after balancing, we should have to apply 40 kg P and 40 kg K2O per hectare. Should be repeated, apply every year with the first monsoon over. Because I told that it remained for 3-5 years. So every year we have to apply 40 kg phosphorus and 40 kg potassium per hectare. Then super Napier grass cultivation practices. So productivity and nutrition quality of grass are strongly influenced by input, namely in the form of nutrient, both macro and micronutrients. Therefore, to restore the soil fertility necessary to fertilize the sufficient quantity In general, grass family plants are very responsive to fertilizers. So I am requested to the farmer that before sowing of the or planting of the hybrid Napier, you should have to carry out the soil analysis. And as per the soil test value, we should have to add nutrient, either macronutrient or micronutrients. So macronutrient NPK, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, and micronutrient zinc, FeMN, copper, boron, and molybdenum. So irrigation, the crop needed regular irrigation at an interval of 15 to 18 days in March, May, and 10 to 12 days interval during summer months. Then harvesting. So first cut is taken at 75 to 90 days after planting, and subsequent cuts are obtained at 45 to 60 days interval for animal feeding. So you know that when you planting, then it requires the establishment period. So we can harvest at 2.5 to 3 months after planting, and subsequent cuts are harvested at 45 to 60 days. At least 6 to 8 cuts are possible annually for the fodder purpose. The grass should be harvested when it reaches to the height of 1.5 meter, and these have developed to full size. It is best to cut the grass with a sickle, as this will ensure that the stems are not damaged. So when you are cutting, then you have to take this sharp sickle, so the stems are not damaged. For biogas or CNG gas production, each cut should be harvested at an interval of 60 days, 2 months. At least 6 cuts are possible annually. So you know that at present, there is a device is combined harvesting machine. So you can harvest a hybrid Napier, and also it make the small pieces. So it is easy to feed to the animals, and it is also used for the biogas production. So crude protein content. So crude protein content, it is, I told that it is known as a super Napier grass or Pengchong 1. So the name given by the Thailand. So you can see here the crude protein percentage is greater. So when you harvest early, then crude protein is greater. But when you delay the harvesting, the crude protein content is decreasing. So 40, 50, 60, and 70. So you can here see. So effect of harvesting is on crude protein of super Napier or Pengchong 1 hybrid. Similarly, for biomass production, you know that when you harvest early, then you are getting low crop production. But here you can see 40, 50, 60, and 70 days. So at 70 days, we are getting the more biomass of the super hybrid Napier or any other variety. But here you can see that when you delay the harvesting, then it contains, the fodder has the maximum fiber content. So the digestibility of the fodder is declined. Therefore, we are recommended on the basis of the research, 45 to 60 days is better for harvesting the hybrid Napier grass and feed to the animal. So it has also the, when you don't give the higher nitrogen, otherwise there is a nitrogen problem, then the grass also contain the oxalate content. So the farmer are requested not to cut early super hybrid Napier 30 days or 25 days. Otherwise, it contains the oxalate. And you know that in animal bones, there is a calcium. So calcium and oxalate has a high affinity, and calcium, when you feed 30 days of the hybrid Napier and feed to the animal, then the calcium is washed out from the body of the animal. So farmers would have to harvest 45 to 60 days of each cut. So you have to plan accordingly. Then feeding of super Napier grass. The grass can be fed to livestock either fresh or dry. So this type of grass is highly palatable and nutritious, providing high levels of protein, energy, mineral, and vitamin to livestock. So you know that when we are making the dry grass, then the other nutrients are not present. But when we feed to the animals, then it contains the maximum nutrient. So protein, energy, mineral, and vitamins is very important for the animal growth, and that animal produce the maximum milk production. So benefit of super Napier grass. So the characteristics of super Napier grass, I told that the yield is twice that of ordinary Napier grass. So I have seen that the ordinary grass, you go CO3, CO5, APBN1, then it gives about 200 ton per hectare. That is 80 ton per acre. Whereas super hybrid Napier grass gives about 300 to 400 ton per hectare green fodder grass. In 2 months, it hides it 12 feet. Grass can be cut at the age of 45 to 60 days, I told. The amount of protein is high. It is delicious, sweet, and palatable in nature. The nutrients of grass, function 1, so dry matter 25%, protein 16%, fat 1%, fiber 26%, metabolic energy 2 megajoules per kg. So Super Napier fodder at Thailand. So I have taken the picture from the Thailand. So another thing that you know that human being not eat rice alone or not the legume alone, but we are taking the nutritious food, carbohydrate and oil seed and pulses and legume and so on. So in animal, we should have to supply, you know that hybrid Napier is a cereal crop. Sorghum is a cereal crop. Maize is a cereal crop. So we should have to feed the age lucerne, then savory, then sobabol. So it is a leguminous crop and it supplies the nutritious fodder to the animal. And you know that when you supply the nutritious fodder to the animal, then you produce the maximum milk production because there is a better health. And when there is better health, then the animal are healthy, then it produces the higher milk production. So intercropping age lucerne in hybrid Napier. So I have seen this in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu Agri University. So they have the dairy and they grow the super hybrid Napier or hybrid Napier, any variety you can grow, but you have to grow the age lucerne. It has maximum protein, more than 20%. So super hybrid Napier grass for biogas CNG production. So previously we have seen for the forage production. Now we have to look the biogas or CNG production. So it is new things. So you can see here the Thailand grass collection and silage preparation. So here the cultivation, then B, transportation of the grasses, then after third grass cutting machine. So you have to cut the grasses. And in a small article of grasses, we have to feed in a digester. So you know that I have tested how much CNG or biogas produced from the 100 kg green fodder of the super hybrid Napier. So we have taken 200 kg super hybrid Napier grass from Anand to Biofish Private Limited, Surat, and we have tested for 45 days, and we observed that from 100 kg, we are getting the 6 kg biogas. So you can see that. So the process of producing biogas from Napier grass involves several steps. So we have taken the several steps. So now you know that Napier grass is a good energy source. So Napier grass is the latest energy crop being promoted by government. The Ministry of Energy, Department of Alternative Energy Development and Efficiency has run project promoting biogas production from Napier gas for the purpose of generating electricity, cooking gas, and biogas for vehicles. So in Thailand, they are producing the biogas or CNG from the super hybrid Napier, and they produce the biogas. They also generating the electric gassing. It also used for cooking gas, and it is used for the vehicle purpose. So I have given. Then the Napier grass, a good energy source. The main purpose of this study was to produce biogas yield from Napier grass. So the main objective of this study was to examine effect of microbial pretreatment. So we have given two treatment. Effect of microbial pretreatment with different reaction times. 24-hour pretreatment result. The suitable method is selected for scale-up study and future application. Then another method is effect of alkali pretreatment. Sodium hydroxide 1% with the different reaction time 24 hours. So both the method time remains same. So pre-treatment result, the suitable method is selected for scale of study and future application. So result and conclusion. So study conducted by Biofish Surat. In first study, 50 kg of raw material was processed using microbial treatment to yield 4 metric cube of biogas just 7 days. The biogas produced from this sample a methane concentration of 62.3% and negligible level of hydrogen sulfide. You know that when you produce the gas from the biogas, then it contains three gases. One is methane, which is used for the biogas. Then another carbon dioxide, and third one is hydrogen sulfide. So in the second case, 80 kg of raw material we have taken and we have given the treatment of 1%. So you can see the result. So from 50 kg, we are getting the 6 kg on the basis of and methane 62.3%. So 6 kg biogas from 100 kg green fodder of hybrid Napier gas. So efficiency 3.42. Whereas in a mechanical treatment or chemical treatment of 1% sodium hydroxide, then slightly a 6.5 kg biogas from 100 kg green fodder. But you know that chemical method is a tedious method. So microbial treatment is better and it is eco-friendly. So result and conclusion, from both the study, we can conclude that microbial treatment and chemical treatment were required to obtain a higher yield of biogas from Napier gas. The results of the investigation indicated that both the provide completely similar yield and microbial treatment was more cost-effective and easier than chemical treatment. Study conducted at Biofic Private Limited, Surat, Gujarat, India. You can still increase more biogas production 6 to 8% if properly maintain the harvesting period time of hybrid Napier grass, and also management practices of hybrid Napier grass also influence the biogas production. You know that I have put up the YouTube of the biogas from the super hybrid Napier grass before 6 to 8 months. So I got about more than 30 inquiry from the farmers. So you know that suppose you want to start the 3-ton biogas per day, then you have to grow hybrid Napier, super hybrid Napier grass in 150 acre land. So you know that you have to feed 50-ton green fodder of chopping of super hybrid Napier every day in digestion. So I have calculated that if you want to run the biogas plant for 300 days, that is 10 months, then you have to grow the super hybrid Napier grass in 150 acre land. Another thing, I have contacted with the Thailand also online. So you know that the hybrid Napier crop is a tropical crops. So during the winter season, particularly December and January, the production is low. So you know that for that we have the solution. You should have to grow the maize crop. Suppose you have 100 acre land, then you planted 80 acre hybrid Napier, super hybrid Napier, and 20 acre maize crop. So when there is a low crop production of the super hybrid Napier, then you can fulfill from the maize. So maize also used for the biogas production. So I have interacted with the Thailand online. So they have replied me. So our contact person I have given. So my name is Dr. P.C. Patel, Chief Soil Health Specialist, Mati Agromart Private Limited. So those who have the problem of the soil fertility evaluation for hybrid grass plant or technical advice, then you can contact me. And my address is, it is email, and my mobile number is 9909022116. So my resident is Anand, Gujarat. For installation of biogas generation plant for hybrid Napier grass with different capacity and technical advisor in biogas, Mr. Vikas Misra, Director, Biofic Private Limited, Surat, Gujarat, India. So their office is Surat, and his mobile number is 9879844576. So there is a more than I think that 5 to 7 YouTube related to biogas. Then for the year-round green forest production of the hybrid Napier or other grasses, then you can contact. And if you like my YouTube, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So thank you very much. And if you have any query, then you can ask me.
Thank you very much, sir, for a wonderful presentation. I will take up the questions from the participants now. In the meantime, can you please stop sharing the screen, sir, so that we can see your full video?
Okay. So it will continue. Sharing?
No. Just stop sharing the screen, sir.
Okay, stop share. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I'll move on to the question, sir.
Okay.
Can you explain in more detail the cultivation process of super hybrid Napier grass?
Okay. You know that NDDB people brought the super hybrid Napier grass from Thailand. And I told that they have the farm Mujkua, that is about 20 kilometers from my place, Anand. And they have multiplied and they distribute the stem cutting. In the beginning, they have given 1 rupees per one stem cutting, means 100 rupees, then 100 stem cutting. Afterward, they have increased the price. But you know that the farmers of the Anand and Kheda, they are, you know that there is a Amul dairy, famous dairy in Asia. So they have multiplied. And another thing, the farmers are told that we have the no land is limited. So you know that where you see here in Anand district and Kerala district, the farmers are growing this hybrid Napier or super hybrid Napier on the boundary of the field. So you know that in Anand and Kerala district, 100% irrigation facility. So there is a water channel. So they grow the hybrid Napier. So they are not, there is no required separate land for the super hybrid Napier or hybrid Napier, and they feed to the animals and they continuously supply the green fodder to the animals, and they are getting the higher milk production. So you know that day by day, the milk production of the Amul and other dairy, Banak dairy, and Dudhsagar dairy and Sumul dairy increasing. So you know that the green fodder is very, very important, because you know that we are not solely depend on the dry. We are also eating the green vegetables and everything, fruits and so on. But we are not taking the care. Another thing, my experience, I serve in forage crop, I told that 25 years. So you know that the maximum nutrient, suppose you grow the plant, suppose sorghum or maize, then we are the maximum nutrient present in a grain. So we are eating the grains. But whatever the byproduct, after taking the grains, that is called straw, so it has less nutrient. And less of fodder we are fed to the animal. And we are expecting that our milk production is lower as compared to the Western countries, because we are not supply the quality food. We are eating the quality food, but we are not supply the quality food to the animals. Because you know that at present, the price of the milk is about 60 rupees, 70 rupees of the buffalo. So I know that previously the price is lower, 30 rupees, 40 rupees. But I see that after 10 years, I think that it will be touched to the petrol price, 90, 100 rupees. Because you know that the farmers are not ready to keep the animals. New generation, young generation don't want to keep the animals. You know that I did a PhD in soil science, and integrated farming system is the best system. So whatever the byproducts of the agriculture, they feed to the animals, and the cow dung of the animals we can add in the soil, so we can improve the soil fertility. But you know that farmers are not ready to keep the animals, and if the farmers are complaining now that our crop productivity has been declined, the main reason is that they are not supply the organic matter in soil. And when you are not supply the organic matter in soil, then the microorganism population decline and our soil become dead. And that is why, again, government of India, not for India, but globally, they have started the organic farming, natural farming, then regenerative agriculture, and so on. Then biodynamic farming. Because you know that 50 years back, our soil is very fertile. But at present, 2020, 23, the crop productivity has been declined, and the farmers are complaining. Although they are adding the more chemical fertilizer, but they are not getting the response.
Okay, I'll move on to the next question, sir. What factors influence the growth and yield of super hybrid Napier grass?
Okay. You know that the super hybrid Napier, or it is also known as elephant grass. So you know that it produces the maximum production. So obviously it requires the maximum nutrient for the growth. So as being soil scientist and my experience of 50 years in agriculture, you, before sowing any crop, not a fodder crop, but all the crops, you should have to take the soil sample. You know the major nutrient, secondary nutrient, micronutrient status, and accordingly, you should have to apply the nutrient through manure and fertilizer. Integrated nutrient management is very, very important. Don't rely only on chemical fertilizer. Here we can see that there is a need of the 30 to 40 tons farmyard manure, well decomposed. You know that at present, there is a fashion. I know that 50 years back, I have at my home also, we have prepared the manure pit 4-5 feet deep. But at present, the farmers are prepared on the surface of the soil. So how you expect how it decompose, and whatever the material you add in soil, it is not decomposed, and you add the weed seed in this field, and there is a cost of the cultivation of the removing of the weed is increasing. Farmers are complaining because the farmyard manure is not will decompose. So the weed seed is live in the manure, and again you are add in this soil or field, again they are germinating. Another thing that you should have to harvest timely. You should have to apply fertilizer also timely. I told that every cut we should have to apply 50 kg nitrogen. So I told that you have to harvest 45 to 60 days. Then you suppose there is some weight, then you have to remove. Then you apply the urea. Then if need the irrigation, as per the schedule, we should have to apply the irrigation water. Another thing that also you have to test the water quality also. You know that when the quality of the water or your soil is saline, then you have to test the water quality also. Otherwise, you know that there is a low crop production, any crop production is low in problematic soil, means saline alkali soil. So soil health is very important. Our health is important. Similarly, soil health is important. Before 50 years, we are getting the better soil, but we have taken not care, and now the soil productivity and degradation has been started, and the farmers are complaining that we have the low productivity.
Okay. Are there any challenges or limitations associated with cultivating super hybrid Napier gas?
Pardon?
I will repeat it, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Just give me a minute. I'll repeat the question.
Okay. For challenge, you know that. Okay.
Are there any challenges or limitations associated with cultivating super hybrid Napier gas?
Okay. Yes, you are correct. You know that we planted the super hybrid Napier or hybrid Napier in the field, and I told that it produce the maximum production. So obviously it uptake the maximum nutrient from the soil. So you have to monitor the soil 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. I observed that we have conducted trials on hybrid Napier at Anand, main forestation ICR project. So 2 to 3 years, the stems of this hybrid Napier decaying. So you have to make gap filling. Otherwise, your crop production will be declined. And every year, I told that you have to apply 40 kg nitrogen, or 40 kg phosphorus, and 40 kg potassium. And also there is a need to apply farmyard manure also. Because it is not sufficient that you apply 40 ton and it produce the yield for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, not possible. So after second year, you have to monitor the nutrient, and if organic matter is low, then again we have to add 20 ton farmyard manure per hectare. So monitoring of the nutrient in soil is important, because you know that we are also monitoring our health. Similarly, we are also required to monitor the soil health. Without soil health, you can't expect the higher crop yield. So crop yield and soil fertility has a direct relationship, because it is proved by the experimentation. Soil health is good, it produces the maximum production. Soil is weak, then you can get the low crop production. You know that in Africa, the soil is very, very poor, and they have no irrigation facility. So you can see the population of the Africa. Because soil health, there is a direct relationship of the soil health with the richness of the people. If the soil is poor, the people have the poor, because they have no any other source. So soil health is very, very important. So soil quality is also important. So soil health or quality same, but we should have to keep the soil health productive for higher crop production of the hybrid Napier. It is exhaustive crop. And you know that government of India, I remember that government of India has given the subsidy for the biogas plant. So biogas, bio pellets, then biochar, because you know that we are importing the oil from the foreign country, but we are producing the biogas. Then there is less requirement of the oil from the foreign country, so we save the money. So government of India gives the subsidy, and many people or many farmers, those who have land 100 acre. Another, it is interesting to know that one farmer from the Chhatarpur has invited me. So here he wants to start the super hybrid Napier grass, and he has given me the ticket of the along with the family to visit the Chhatarpur. It is near Khajuraho. So we stayed there 3 days, and we have planted the super hybrid Napier. So it is very, very important. And those who have the money and those who have the land and they have the chance, they can start the biogas plant.
Okay. I'll move to the next question, sir. Can you provide examples of successful applications of super hybrid Napier grass in forage and biogas system?
Yes, you know that I told that I have served 25 years in forage crops, All India Quantity Research Project on forage crop. It is run through the ICR at Anand. So you know that suppose the farmers are contacting me for the biogas plant. Recently, one person from the MP has also contacted me. So they have the paper mill, and that people told me that we are using the coal, so it is very costly one, and we want to start the super hybrid Napier. So we have interact, and I told that I will supply all the information to you, and I will help you for the super hybrid Napier plantation, because they have 900 acre lands. But I have advised him that you should have to visit the Thailand. You know that in India, there is not a single plant of the biogas from super hybrid Napier alone. People are thinking, but nobody has started, because every farmer or people thinking that one started, we can start. So I always advise to the farmer that you visit Thailand, because what are the difficulty the people of the Thailand is knowing, because I have done in small scale, on laboratory scale, but on large scale, suppose you produce you planted the super hybrid Napier in 150 acre land, and you install the plant of 3 ton, then you require 50 ton green fodder of super hybrid Napier daily requirement for the digestion. And in digestion, we have to add the bacteria culture also. So suppose you install the plant 3 ton per day, then every day you have to use 1,000 rupees bacterial culture. So about 25 to 30,000 rupees expenditure incur in bacteria, microbial activity. So bacteria is required. But you know that suppose then you can type with the other company for the purchasing. So you know that at present about 80 rupees per kg of the biogas. So suppose you told to the company that you can purchase, I will give you and you can take on it. So you can start bargaining up to 60, 70 rupees to the company. So when you calculate it, then you are getting the more profit from the biogas plant. Then one person from the Junagadh, so he want to start. He has purchased about a 250 acre land he has taken on lease basis. But that farmer has the problem of some finance, so he has not started. But his idea, I have interact with him and he told that I want to start the biogas plant. Then I want to start the carbon dioxide plant. And whatever the material remains, that I will use for the biocoal. So the cost of the you can get the generate the income from the biocoal also. So that farmer is an engineer. So he has started and he will start within a short time. Because there is a finance problem is solved, then he will start.
Okay, I move on to the next question, sir. How does the nutrient contents of super hybrid Napier grass compare to other forage crops?
Okay. You know that I told that super Napier grass has a higher crude protein. I have analyzed more than 1 lakh samples of the forage crops during 25 years. So in hybrid Napier, because we are, you know that there are 14 centers in India, so we are meeting. So mostly 8 to 10% crude protein in hybrid Napier, but in super Napier, there is a 14% crude protein. So it is 4% higher. So it is significantly higher. Then the yield is also greater. I told that on an average, the yield of the Coimbatore 3, Coimbatore 5 or APBN 1, about 200 ton per hectare per year. Whereas the production of the super hybrid Napier is 250, 300, 400. It depends upon the management practices. Because suppose the farmers are not taking the care of the soil, then suppose they are used the hybrid variety super, but he will not get the higher crop production. He get only 200 tons. But if managed very well, then it produce 400 tons per hectare per annum, per year. So soil fertility management is very, very important for any forage crop. Then you know that in lucerne crop, another thing, then in hybrid Napier, you can grow the lucerne crop also. We have conducted trial. So in monsoon season, we have kept the line between 2 lines, 1 meter. So 3 lines or 2 lines of the cowpea in the monsoon season. Then in winter season, we have taken the lucerne crop, 3 line, 4 line. So you can get the nutritive fodder for the animals. So you don't feed alone cereal crop. You know that in India, the farmers are feeding rice straw or wheat straw or sorghum. And they are not supply the green fodder. They are purchased the only concentrate from the dairy, but they are not supply the green fodder to the animals. So the animal has the potentiality to produce the higher milk production, but it will not, potential is not shown due to lack of the insufficient nutritive fodder. So nutritive fodder is very important. You know that in foreign countries, they produce 20 liter, 25 liter per day. 30 liters per day. HF cows and Holstein Friesian cows and Jersey. And another thing that our Gir cows in Brazil, you know that there are more than 1 lakh Gir cows there. And they are producing the higher milk production because feeding is also very important. Breed is good, but feeding is very important. You know that we have interact with the veterinary people also. That suppose you are supply the only drinking water to the animal 3 times, 4 times, then your milk production has been increased. But you know that we are not taking the care. We are taking care for ourselves, but we are not taking care of the animals.
Okay. I'll move on to the next question, sir. Are there any ongoing research or developments related to improving super hybrid Napier grass for these purposes?
Okay, it is a good question. You know that recently, when I have visited the Khajuraho, Khachatarpur, along with my missus, then I have visited the Indian Grassland Fodder Research Institute. And previously, when I was working, then I have visited Indian Grassland Fodder Research Institute 6 to 7 times. I have also taken the training on fodder production at Jhansi. So at that time, they have the meeting of the ICR, but I met one scientist at IGF Jhansi, is a technologist, biotechnologist. So I told that, are you doing any research work on super Napier? So he told me that we are not doing any research done on super Napier, but we are doing the research work on other IV Napier grass. So I told that the scientist told that our aim is to produce or a research based on animal feeding. So I told him that you know that we are located in India, and your center is the main center of the India. So who will take the care of the biogas from super hybrid Napier or hybrid Napier gas? Thailand people have evaluated that the super hybrid Napier has the maximum methane. Similarly, our variety is a lot of there in India. So we have to evaluate which variety has the higher methane content. And suppose they start and they found that suppose CO3 variety or CO5 variety has the higher methane content, then we can use that variety. But due to lacking of this information, at present, we have only solely reliable on the super hybrid Napier because I have seen that it has the maximum methane content. Because in biogas, methane is important.
Okay. What are the economic implications of incorporating super hybrid Napier grass into livestock and biogas operations?
You know that in India, suppose government of India will start the research work on biogas plant because they are doing the research work on animal feeding for increasing milk production. But it is also important for the biogas. So we have to collaborate, or we have the materials of the IB Napier, or they have collaborated with the Thailand, and they conduct the research that how the methane content has been increased in hybrid Napier, then it will be benefited to the India because you know that the population of India is 140 crores. So we have first in the world for the population. And you know that the demand of the biogas is increasing day by day. So we are preparing the biogas from the kitchen waste and gobar and other material also, but it is not sufficient. And therefore, you know that government of India also given the emphasis more for the biogas plant. And another thing that I recently visited at Pune. So they have about 200 biogas plant, Urja biogas plant. So that that manager told me that the farmers of the sugarcane farmer, because they are not getting the remunerative price, because you know that the sugarcane, when you planting the sugarcane, then you are getting the money after 1 and 5 years. 1.5 month means 8 साल के बाद you are getting the money. Whereas, so the farmer told that we are ready to planting the super hybrid Napier, and we will supply to you at 80 paisa per kg, and you produce the biogas. So we are getting the money every 2 months also. So it is very important, because when the farmers are growing the super hybrid Napier or hybrid Napier, then they are getting the money every 2 months. Because you know that why the people are ready to keep the milk business or dairy farming, because they are getting the money every week. So money is required. Without money, we can do anything. And that is why the farmers are more diverted over the dairy farming. And dairy farming is a very profitable business, but we are managed the
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. We have now completed the round of questions. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we like to thank Mr. Praveen Chandra Chaturlal Patel for the talk and for answering the questions. I'd like to also thank all the participants in this meeting. This meeting will now be closed.
And again, yes, if you have any query, yes, ask to the farmer, then they may contact me. I have given
we have shared, even we have shared your email ID and mobile number, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any clarification,
okay.
You're most welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you very much again.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Okay, welcome.